Stay salty, my friends. Today, Jesus tells his disciples at the end of this passage that they need to keep salt in themselves and that they will have peace. So we might ask ourselves, what does salt mean here? Well, Jesus speaks about salt as being something that is good, but if it loses its flavor, then it's not good for anything. And before all of this, Jesus is talking about how the disciples should act with sinful inclinations. Like if their hand causes them to sin, to cut it off. If their foot causes them to sin, cut that off. Or their eye, to pluck out their eye. So very vivid imagery here. Very much something that kind of scary to hear Jesus talk like this about our sinfulness. And we might ask ourselves, is Jesus really telling us to maim ourselves or to make ourselves blind? Is this what it means to be salty? He's not saying it like that, but rather he's saying what a serious responsibility it is for us to be always zealous in our pursuit of holiness, always zealous in our pursuit for Jesus himself, that we can't allow ourselves to become insipid or without taste like salt that is not good anymore. We can't allow ourselves to just grow mediocre in our pursuit of the Lord, because then we don't help anybody that way. We don't help ourselves, and we surely don't inspire anyone else to want to follow Jesus. So it takes things like us being willing to cut things out of our lives so that we might be more holy, rather than saying, I don't know, I guess this is just the way I am. I'm always going to be addicted to food, or I'm always going to have this struggle with this sin or this sin, and maybe, a little bit of that's going to be okay. We must always be ready to cut things out if it's causing us to sin, because if not, we become tasteless. We become Christians who are only Christian in name. We have to do things like perhaps give up alcohol for a while. Perhaps we make sure that we put our phone in a different spot when we get home at the end of the day so that we're not tempted to look at things we shouldn't, or we're not tempted to work more than we should. Whatever that might be for you, let's do that for the Lord. Cut those things out. You don't have to cut off your hand or your foot or pluck out your eye, but you ought to cut out things that you know might lead you to sin. This is what it means to keep salt in your lives. So stay salty, my friends.